What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of the Road to Glory. As you can see on the screen, we have Cristiano Ronaldo. I wanted to buy him live, but earlier on in the day when I was up at like 1.2 million coins, he was selling for like 1.5 and 5,000 and 8,000 and 10,000. And I was like, oh, sweet, I'm a couple 100k away. And then as the day continued to go on, he just got more and more expensive to the point where I just checked and he was like 1.54 something. And then I gave another quick check because I had a few more items clear in the trade pile. And this one popped up at 1.520. So we have purchased Cristiano Ronaldo, relatively new card as well. The guy who had him before, only 14 goals in 23 games. And so, as you can see in the top left-hand corner, we don't really have all that much left. And by that, yeah, look at that, 1528 and then 1540. So, like, I got that at a good, a relatively good price. I'm going to do an account tour. We're going to do a club tour in the next video. Before that, there's a whole bunch of gameplay I got for you guys today. But I want to explain where we are in Foot Champs and why I personally think it's good. But I know I kind of briefly touched on it a little bit yesterday's video, and I've already started getting tweets in and stuff just talking about my record. People are just bagging on me for not getting like 29 wins with my team. I do understand that my team is really, really good, especially now with Mbappe and especially now with Cristiano Ronaldo. I get it. My team is insane. However, it has to be taken into consideration. Let's take Mkhitaryan. Oh no, do I want a good cam? I've got Neymar as a cam, Aouar as well. It has to be taken into consideration that I haven't played high-level FIFA for literally 3 months. And so now that I'm playing against, you know, my form at the moment, I'm 20 and 7 is 13, plus 13. So I can match up against any range of player. This level of player, I need to get used to playing that difficulty again. I don't think I'm going to fall back into champs straight into elite, even with this team. And I hope that kind of makes people recognize just how important understanding the game is versus teams. So when you see a guy in Division 5 with a team like this, don't necessarily sit there and be like, oh God, I've lost already. Because if he just doesn't understand the game mechanics, it doesn't matter. Now, I've changed my formation over the last few games. We're playing in a 4-4-2 now. I'm balanced all over across the board there. We're 4-4-2. However, we're going to be playing with Mbappe back. I was missing. I had Ibra and Henry up front, and I just wasn't feeling Ibra. He just wasn't fast enough. So hopefully Ronaldo is going to give us that pace injection along with Henry, Bale and Mbappe, Ballack and Kante, and then our back line. And obviously, we don't really have much left in the club now. So that's that. But now that we've got this team, I don't think I have a Hunter Chem style, even untradeable. I would prefer a Hunter on Ronaldo just because I would want him to be as fast as possible, essentially, as fast as humanly possible. I don't have one. I could buy one, but for the time being, for these final few games, we won't do. Now, I do want a French manager from the... Oh, no, I want the Premier League manager as well. So Ronaldo will get up to 10 Chem after the games. He gets a good boost already. Good boost on jumping. Obviously, it makes him extremely good in the air. We've got, again, just tanks up front, man. Fast tanks. Mbappe, 99 pace. Henry, 95 pace. Ronaldo, 95 pace or so now. And Gareth Bale, 97 pace. And they're all tall. They're all strong. They just got good abilities about them. And even with that in mind, I'm still sucking at times. And where we are right now, in terms of Div Rivals, I think we're well up on the threshold for Div Rivals. Yeah, we're 3,000 points ahead of rank 1. I don't know whether I'm going to take tradable or untradeable for Rivals rewards. We'll deal with that when we come to it. But I also don't know if I'm going to get to rank 1. Like I probably am going to this week just because of the weekly objectives. But generally speaking, I don't know. But in terms of Foot Champions, guys, we've got to Gold 1, which was definitely my minimum target. And I know I had a really good run up and I got to 16 and 1. And you're going to see the gameplay from that today, as much gameplay as I can fit in. And when I got to 16 and 1, I deserved the one loss that I took. And then I started playing late last night. And I wasn't triggered. I wasn't playing tilted. I was trying to learn the things that are important and that work now. And I'm going to have to play through these losses to understand how my team is interacting with itself, you know, like what's good for me, what's bad for me. I'm not just going to fall back into elite unless hopefully we can win these 3 games in a row. Maybe we can't. I don't care if we do or if we don't. It's going to still be a good experience. Even if I could just get 1 or 2 wins, I know then I'm only 1 or 2 games away. And I again have this week now like 2 or 3 games where I lost, where I just should have won the game. You know, I was panicking, didn't take my chances, rushing my back line and stuff. So I'm pretty confident I can move back up into the elite ranks pretty quickly. But even if we can't, Gold 1 is a really good spot to be in if we're playing all 30 games, just because the 100k packs are more valuable than the Team of the Week pack, in my opinion. Obviously, you get 20,000 more coins in the extra red player pick pack. But yeah, two red player picks, 2 100ks and 50k coins, not too bad. Now, if I can win all 3 games, which is why I wanted to get Ronaldo before basically we went into the final 3 games, I wanted CR7 because I wanted to make damn sure that I had the best opportunity of winning. And for super subs, you know, we've got Ibra, Best, Neymar, Aubameyang, Raul. Like we got some insane players on the bench, man. But that is the team, and you've seen the formation, guys. So we're going to get into gameplay, and you'll see at the very end of the video whether or not we made it to elite. I will be right back. All right, guys. So into the gameplay we go. Enjoy the gameplay. Lots of games today. I think I think 15 games worth of gameplay in today's video. So loads of stuff to get through. And fair few comments. Hopefully I've got enough time to get them all done. And hopefully I haven't got too few comments and too much time. That doesn't happen often, but it happens sometimes. But we're going to just get into it. And the first one is from OK Then. He says, shout out to NepentheZ for having one of the best Road to Glory accounts and still consistently playing the game. Although it's ups and downs within the game and gameplay. Keep up the good work. I've been watching you for a long time. And I appreciate the kind sentiment. And this weekend league, playing all 30 games for the first time in 3.5 months. I think it was the weekend before Christmas this year that we didn't play. So all the way through January, February, and all of March, and then summer, December. So yeah, like literally like 14 weeks without playing a full 30. And obviously we're in a good spot. But what that did to me is it created this world where I both hated it and loved it. And the reason why I hated it is because it is not fun playing consistent high-end FIFA. It's just not fun. And I'm not even saying I'm a high-end player, because I'm not. I'm still I'm relearning like the meta. I'm relearning the overpowered mechanics. I'm relearning how to, you know, time manage games, how to close out games, and I'm doing some good jobs with that and some bad jobs with that. But generally speaking, going through the last 15 games here was just something that I didn't enjoy. You know, I was sitting there. I made a statement on stream as well, which somebody clipped and put on Twitter, and it kind of blew up a little bit, saying that I'm playing this game for my job right now, not because I enjoy it. And that is very true in many regards. It's also not very true in some regards as well. So it would be cool for me to kind of clear up right now what that kind of meant. And what that meant is I do get enjoyment out of FIFA. I enjoy the game to an extent in terms of gameplay. I enjoy a lot of the menu side of things. I enjoy the card collection aspect and the trading side of things. I enjoy, you know, playing drafts. I enjoy building the drafts. But along with every single thing, I don't enjoy certain things. And in terms of playing champs for 30 games, when I was going through the last 15 games, I was saying to myself, and I didn't want to mention it until I finished all 30 games, because I didn't want this opinion out there to have an impact on how people felt I felt due to where I finished or didn't finish. And so, you know, I didn't, on the one hand, want to be like, my opinion in general anyway, was that I don't want to do this again. Playing 30 games was enough, and playing through specifically the last 15 games was enough to make me think, yeah, this is why I stopped. Like, this just isn't fun. Like, this is a grind that's not the grind that we want. This is a grind that's a grind for the fear of missing out, not for the enjoyment of the grind itself or the rewards at the end. And I didn't want to say that I don't want to do this again, because I didn't want it to influence, as I say, how people felt about how I was playing. So I went to 16-1, which is very good. But I then went from 16-1 to 16-5, and I didn't want to then say at 16-5, oh guys, this is the last time I'm doing 30 games, because people would just come out and just assume that it's because I'm losing games. And it wasn't because I was losing games, it was because it just wasn't enjoyable to me. And so I didn't want to say how I felt, but after 30 games, I can seriously sit here now knowing that I got Elite 3, which is or isn't bad, depending on, you know, how you look at things, and we'll get into that a little bit in a second. But after 30 games, I sat here and I just thought to myself, like, that was just for an extra red player pick and just a Team of the Week pack. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. Like, you know, I talked about this in a little more depth on stream last night, and we don't play for things. We play for a chance at getting something, and that is not what the games should be about. You know, it's very rare in other games that you play for the chance of getting something, unless it's like a novelty bonus. Like, you know, in Rainbow Six Siege, you get a chance at a pack at the end of every game. And in that pack, it's a random item, but it's a cosmetic item. It doesn't make any difference. In FIFA, you could play to 11 wins every single week of your life and end up with better than somebody that finishes Elite 3 every single week of the game cycle. And that's just not how it should be. You should be rewarded. You know, we talked about it a lot before, but you should be rewarded for being a consistently high-level player. Now, the problem that EA have is, and this is a problem that I don't necessarily have an immediate answer to, but the problem that EA have is if they continually give the best guaranteed rewards to the best players, or the players that finish the highest every time, it's going to create this void, this bubble of untouchables, because everyone below the pack will just be falling away because their rewards aren't up to scratch, and that's not necessarily the answer either. So I don't necessarily have the answer. But in terms of consistently playing this game, what this weekend league also did for me was it brought back some levels of, ooh, this is why we do it. You know, when I hit Elite, I was just like, yes, I was so happy, and that feeling is something that I want more of. That feeling of elation, that feeling of I did it, and it's only Elite 3. It's not even like it's not like I hit Elite 1 or top 100. But that feeling, and you know, because I played my final 3 games on stream, which was probably stupid. I got to a point where I was 19-7. I crashed hard. I went 16-1 to 19-7, right? And I played 1 game off stream, and I got to 20-7. And I was content with 20-7. I was like, look, I've got gold 1, my first weekend back. I'm getting back into the swing of things of playing this game, and I was like, let me play my last few games on stream. I'm sure people will enjoy that, whether I win or lose. And we end up winning all 3 of them, and one of them I went 2-0 and 3-1 down into the second half, and I still came back and won that game 6-3, and of course you'll see that here today. But that enjoyment between me and you guys that were in the stream, and just me in general, just like sitting there thinking like, yes, I got this. That was awesome. That's what keeps me coming back in many regards. But I don't like the fact that I have to go through hell to get to that one point. It really just isn't worth it. It's not worth the stress and hassle, because now, come Thursday, when rewards come out, if Team of the Week is bad, it's all for nothing. And even if Team of the Week is good and I don't hit a decent player, it was all for nothing. It literally was. It was for the sake of playing the game, and the game is not good enough to play the game. Anyway, the next comment is from Carl. He says, show us what is left in your club. Tomorrow will be the Road to Glory's club tour, showing you what I haven't got left in the club, because the club is pretty empty. But yeah, tomorrow we'll get there, and we'll go through what's left. Josh says, possible options: sell Team of the Year Mbappe, buy Team of the Year Marcelo and Ramos, CR7, and use Neymar at left mid until you get the coins to get left mid Mbappe, or even FS Vinicius Jr. As you see in this video, we have Ronaldo now, and that's a lot of coins. I spent about 5.5 million coins altogether between Mbappe and Ronaldo, and obviously spent a lot on Henry. And somebody had said in the last video that I was bragging about having like 6 to 8 million coins if I sold everything, and now I can't even afford Team of the Year Ramos and Marcelo. And you got to understand, right? First and foremost, Team of the Year Mbappe and Ronaldo, that is 5.5 million coins of what I thought was 6 million to 8 million coins in my club. I also dumped about, I think, 400,000 to 500,000 coins worth of tradable items into Thierry Henry's Prime Moments card. So that then takes us up to the 6 million plus point. And then I still have in my club somewhere around 1 million coins worth of items. They are just the dregs. They are individual fitness cards that sell for 200 coins each, contracts that sell for 200 coins each, silver players that might sell for 350 to 600 coins, gold players that might sell for 300 to 600 coins. Like, we'll go through it in a lot more detail tomorrow, but I do still have 1 to 2 million coins worth of items in the club, and that will only start growing again now that we finished for Champs Elite 3, you know, 70,000 coins, Team of the Week pack and 100k pack. Hopefully we'll be able to get at least 200,000 coins out of that. The Division 1 Rank 1 finish is going to get me a tradable, or I think a tradable pack. Well, again, we'll talk about that a little bit more in detail, but I'm already like building up on the club again. And if Team of the Season is still 3 or 4 weeks away, I'm going to be able to amass another 2 to 4 million coin fortune into the club to have fun with Team of the Season before it comes. If, however, like I think is going to happen, Team of the Season is like 2 weeks away, I hopefully will be able to get back up to like the 1 to 2 million coins mark whilst selling off all the items and playing the game. In terms of selling Team of the Year Mbappe, he's just too good, man. The Team of the Year Mbappe was the sole reason I decided to move away from First Owner Road to Glory. I've wanted him since his card came out. I just wanted him in the club, and he was the catalyst that was like, okay, let me do this. We could obviously sell Team of the Year Mbappe, and I was looking at a lot of different combinations of things we could do, because I could go and buy Team of the Year Van Dijk and Team of the Year Marcelo, FFS Trent, and then just use like inform Neymar at left wing, and that would be good and such. But what I want to do is I want to get all of the Team of the Year cards, and Mbappe was a game changer for me. In the 30, I think he played 33 games and has like 38 assists and 17 goals. He has like well over 50 goal contributions in 30 or so games, and he was just immense for me. One of the comments is, all you're doing is using Mbappe to cross it to Bale. It's boring to watch. And whether or not it's fun or not fun to watch or to play or whatever is largely irrelevant. It just shows how broken he is, how overpowered he is. So right now, I don't want to sell Mbappe for a couple of reasons. Number one, he's the reason why I changed. Number two, I would lose a lot of coins worth of tax on him to sell him. And number three, by not selling him, it keeps my passion to grind. It will keep me doing bronze packs and upgrade packs and trying to trade and trying to sell everything in the club, because with Marcelo specifically, Team of the Year, who will be the next edition, because we can get Marcelo onto 8 chemistry, which is more than fine for a Team of the Year card, just immediately, just swapping him with Alonso and letting him link with David Luiz, and building towards that 1.1 or 1 million coins needed for Marcelo is going to be a journey that I will hopefully make over the next week. And if I sold Mbappe and then spent all the coins here or there, I'm now millions of coins away again from upgrading back to the Team of the Year Mbappe, and it will make me feel like, what's the point? I'll just wait for Team of the Season. But if I keep what I've got now, getting to 1 million coins, it's not going to be easy, but it's not going to take more than probably 10 days. If I can't make 100,000 coins a day playing the game as much as I play the game, I'm doing something very, very wrong. So hopefully within 10 days, we will add Team of the Year Marcelo to the pot. I hope within 5 days, because as I say, like we will talk about it in a lot more detail tomorrow in tomorrow's video. But with the number of silver cards that I have in my club, I think I worked it out. I have like over 1,000 silvers, and even if I discard them for 250 to 100 coins, you're looking at hundreds of thousands of coins in silvers at discard value, right? Now it would be tedious to discard them and stuff, but a lot of them, most of them, will sell for 200 to 400 for the common silvers and 600 to 800 for the rare silvers, with some of them selling for way more than that. And so, although it's tedious to sell it for 200 and 300 here or there, it will accelerate my chance to get Team of the Year Neymar and Team of the Year Ramos and Team of the Year Van Dijk and Team of the Year Modric and Team of the Year Marcelo or Neymar or whoever it may be, and it will just leave me in a good spot and allow me to regrind throughout the whole club. The next comment is from Rahator. He says, "You play so well with Bale. I hated him when I used him." He's a very unique player. You know, I've talked about this just over the last couple of days. You know, somebody had mentioned it on stream once, and it kind of resonated with me. And Gareth Bale just has a very unique set of properties. He has 99 jumping with extremely high heading accuracy. He's very tall, and he has good strength and combination, a good strength and aggression combination, which gives him the advantage over almost every fullback in the game and most centre-backs in the game, barring probably just the Team of the Year cards. And B, gives me an advantage because if you don't know how to defend the crossing technique, which a lot of people don't, you're just going to struggle. And what's interesting about that is that, you know, obviously I talked about the crossing technique and the crossing meta before, and people kind of just dismissed me with it. Obviously, it's very unique to how I play. I don't see many people cross as much as I do or score from as many crosses as I do, but it is a very, very viable option and a viable way to play the game. Is it boring? Maybe so. But Bale for me is super interesting. Because of how unique he is, you know, is extremely fast. Yes, he has a 3-star weak foot, but other than that, he is a full-on high-end player. And leading on from that, Alex says, don't you guys just love watching the same thing over and over again? Ball to Mbappe, El Tornado cross, Bale header. Let's see something new, please, Nep. And the answer is quite simply no. I'm not going to give you something new because this is how I play the game. And what's frustrating about this is, if it's not to your liking of how I score goals, you start saying that I'm just abusing game mechanics. And I don't mean you specifically, Alex. There's a lot of people in the comment section that were like, oh my God, all you do now is abuse game mechanics. That's all anyone ever does, and it has ever done. All I did before the patch at the start of the year, or in February, all I did was score time finesses, first time finesses. That's all I did. I'd pass it into the top of the box, hit a time finesse. I'd have De Bruyne on the edge of the box, and with his 5-star weak foot, I'll just hit time finesses all over the place. At the very start of the game, during the first month, when bicycle kicks were stupidly overpowered and accurate, all I would score was bicycle kicks. I'd flick it up to myself and bicycle kick it with David Trezeguet. I'd pop in a corner, bicycle kick with David Trezeguet. And people didn't say, oh my God, dude, all you do is score time finesses. Stop doing that. People were like, well, that's how this game is. Now that they've patched time finesses, there are a few scoring methods available. One of them being first time shots, which are stupidly overpowered, and one of them being the one depth drop back counter attack, just sweaty goals, and one of them is crosses and headers. And I'm not going to stop doing it because it's my efficient way to score. And if you've got your efficient way to score, I'm sure when you go into a game, you play the same style of FIFA over and over again. You do the same things because it's the way that you've kind of got your brain and your muscle memory to play the game. And that's it for me too. I get down the wing. If the cross is there, I put it in. If not, I'll play it around the box and then try and look for a shot at the top of the box, like you'll see right here. See, if the crossing option isn't there, I score a goal that's not a cross. But I'm not going to start changing the way that I play because I will just lose more games. And I don't want to lose. If I'm going to just play non-meta to lose games, I'm not going to play at all. If my options are either play like this and win, or don't play like this and lose, I will either just play like this and win or not play. I don't want the second option. You know what I mean? We then got a comment from Henny says, that moment when you see a team like Neps and you just want to insta forfeit. And I get how people will feel when they see my team, but this weekend, and specifically the gameplay you're watching now of me just losing game after game after game, it goes to show that team is not the most important thing. Player skill and mentality and understanding and controlling the game is the most important thing, because I lost to a couple of teams that are way worse than mine. And I lost for a few reasons. My opponent was outplaying me, they understood the game mechanics better, perhaps they got a few lucky bounces, or perhaps I just made some bad decisions. But having a great team doesn't make you a great player. And this is one of the things that is tough when you're in my position, right? Because when I stopped playing champs, there started creeping in the odd comment here or there that just grew more and more and more of, oh, he's not stopping because he doesn't want to play FIFA anymore. He's stopping because he's scared of the competition. People, like, there was specifically like this group on Reddit, you know, and whatever with Reddit, I don't really care their opinion, but it's still, I see it, I read it, I absorb it. And they were going around, and every time my name was mentioned on Reddit, or sometimes I'd see it mentioned on Twitter, and people were like, "Oh no, he didn't stop because he doesn't want the good rewards, or because he's doesn't want to play all 30 games anymore. He stopped because he's scared. He stopped because everybody's team has caught up with his now, and he doesn't want to show that it was his team carrying him to those Elite 2 finishes." And there is some element of truth in the fact that it's not about being scared. It was just about pressure. I'm not scared to lose. I'm not scared to play FIFA. Whether I win or lose doesn't make any difference, right? It doesn't change my world if I win or lose. But people started getting that in their head, and it started becoming more of a thing. And so people would literally try and bait me. When I'd get to 14-1 or 14-2, somebody would tweet me, "Oh, you're going to play all 30 games this weekend?" "Oh no, probably not, because you don't want to get elite, and they're trying to bait me into playing all 30 games. And I just be like, look, man, I just don't want to play the games. I'm not enjoying the game. I'm not enjoying the gameplay. I just don't want to do it. And then when I say, oh, now guys, I'm going to play all 30 games. When I get to elite, those same people are saying, oh, that's not even an achievement anyway because of your team. And so I feel like I just can't win. You know, if I don't play, I'm getting grief from people being like, oh, you don't want to play because you're scared to lose and you know that you're not good enough to get elite. And then when I do play and get elite, people are like, oh, of course you're going to get elite with that team. You should be ashamed that you didn't even get 25 or 27 wins. You should be getting top 100 with that team. And that's just not how FIFA works. And that's not how the logic works. You can't bash me for not playing and then bash me for playing and not getting a great enough achievement, because what it comes down to in this game isn't how good your team is. I've said this before, I say it again. If I give my mum a full team of the year team with plus 10 attribute cards with the full manager's boost on 100 chemistry with the best setup possible, 1 depth, drop back, 4-2-3-1, and I give myself a bronze team on no chemistry, I am certain I will still beat my mum. Because if you're not good at the game, the team will not carry you. And in FIFA, you know, when we look at the teams that I'm coming up against here and stuff, like, yeah, sure, these teams aren't necessarily as good as mine, but if that player is just considerably better than me, he'll beat me, regardless of my team. The team only does so much, and especially because of how I personally play with me pulling defenders out of position all the goddamn time. You can give me a 99 rated defense with 99 in every single stat, and if I'm still aggressive and pull those players out of position, you're still going to find the spaces and score the goals. So just having a team this good doesn't mean you're a good player, and doesn't mean that you know you will inherently win every single game. What this team has helped me do through the first 14 or 15 games is win those games that I might have lost before. And what I mean by that is, you know, so many times I've come out of games over the past few months or years even with FIFA, and I come out of that game and I think, man, I should have won that game. This team is helping me win those I should have won that games, but not all of them, only some of them. And sure, maybe a better team, if I had, you know, Team of the Year Ronaldo and Team of the Year Neymar, maybe then I'd win even a few more of those I should have won those games. And maybe that's where the difference is. But I'm playing at a plus 14/plus 15 form for a lot of my games. So I'm playing against the best kind of possible player that I can play against. And at that point, it comes down to less of your team won you that, and more of either you got outplayed and that's why you lost, or you made some bad choices and that's why you lost. And I think those are two very important factors that people constantly gloss over. You know, when people say like, oh, I'm in Division 5 and I can't get out of Division 5 because all I keep coming up against is these full icon teams, I'm sorry, but that's not why you can't get out of Division 5. You can't get out of Division 5 because you're not good enough to get out of Division 5. Because if you were a Division 3 player in Division 5, you would get up to Division 3 over time because your skill would show through, regardless of your opponent's team. If you're a Division 2 or Division 1 player in Division 4 or Division 5 and you're like, oh, I can't get out because I just keep coming up against these monster teams, I hate to break it to you, but the truth of the matter is you're just not good enough to get out of Division 5. The team isn't that important. Will it win you or lose you some games? Yes. But is it the deciding and the defining factor of every game? Not at all. Not in the slightest. The next comment is from Libyan Moss. He says, the amount of headers you score is unbelievable. Fair play, Nep. And yeah, again, it comes back to that whole, like, do I want to win or do I want to try to play nice FIFA? Because I want to win. That's what I get my enjoyment out of. I enjoy winning. I enjoy scoring goals. And for me, the most efficient, effective method is scoring headers. Do I want to add different play styles into my game? Yeah. In fact, somebody on stream yesterday was like, oh, how come you don't score the low-driven finesses anymore? And it's because they're just, to get yourself into the position to score one of those, as strong as the shot type is, to get into the position to score the shot type is considerably more difficult than to get into a position to score across. And so it comes down again to efficiency levels. What's the most efficient way for me to score? And you're watching it right now. However, when I watch like high-end players play, like way better players than me, you know, top 100/Elite 1 players, they do a lot of stuff that I just don't even do. And it shows me that there's still a lot of room for growth for me. Specifically, they do a lot of la croquetas, which I just don't do nearly enough. But also, they just pass a lot. Like, it's weird because they'll pass at 100 miles per hour for like 8 to 10 passes and then walk. and walk the ball a little bit and then start passing again and ping, 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 and then walk again. And it's like I was watching Skills last night play against Lampard Legend, so a pro player in Lampard Legend, and obviously Skills, signed to complexity, top 100 player, one of the best players in the game in my opinion. And he would just pass it. He would just pass it. And I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, does he know where he's passing it? Or is he just pressing A and relying on assisted passing? And I know that he doesn't just press A and rely on assisted passing, because you'd never get top 100 like that, right? It's just not the way the game works. But he's just passing it. And I'm like, he's passing it seemingly for the sake of passing it. And when I see that, my initial thought is, I can't do that, because it's not in my muscle memory. It's not in my thought process to do that. But it's the same thing as with crosses. When time finesses were in the game, I didn't cross the ball because I didn't need to. And if passing like that is a more efficient, more effective way to create opportunities to score, I should just start doing it and learn it and work through the bad times of doing it to get to the times where I'm like, okay, well, this is how this mechanic works, because I don't understand that game mechanic in the slightest, and it's obviously a game mechanic that is there to be abused, and so I should just start doing it. I should start emulating that same process, pass 4 or 5 times really quickly and then slow it down, because what happens there is it creates this mental block in your opponent, right? Because when you pass, they start chasing you. They're like, oh crap, let me try and get there. And then you start walking. And so they make a move because they're so used to passing, and they make a move to try and intercept the pass. And because you've walked, you've just basically walked them out of position. And now you've got the opportunity to attack again. And it was very interesting for me to watch that. So there's still a lot of room for me to grow and improve as a player, which I'm very happy with. Yeah, I'm delighted that I can get Elite 3 with spamming crosses, because if I can carry on playing at this high level, getting used to playing against people of this difficulty, and then start implementing the other game styles into my play as well to give me more tools to unlock people's defenses, maybe the possibility of hitting 27 wins will be there for me this year. Maybe it won't be, I don't know. But as you saw, guys, we managed to clutch out on Elite, and I would have been disappointed if I didn't get Elite because of how good my start was at 16-1. But at the same time, to come back off 3.5 months of not playing 30 games to walk into Elite for my first week, I'm honestly happy. I know a lot of you guys will literally be like, oh, you should be getting Elite with that team, but again, it comes down to the fact of when you're not sharp, when you haven't played, when a player comes back from injury in real football, you don't just expect them to go straight back into being their best self the day they get back from injury. It takes time, it takes training. They got to play some warm-up matches. Maybe they play in the under-21s or under-23s for a few games. They'll come on and play 20 minutes or 30 minutes to get their match sharpness back. And you got to think of it like that in terms of FIFA. After being out for so long and just playing the bare minimum level, to play to a high level, I've got to get back into it. I've got to start playing constantly at this level, getting used to, getting my muscle memory used to doing the specific routines and mechanics, and getting used to the pressure situation of having to deal with the Ultimate Team FUT champs the way that we do. But anyway, guys, this is going to be the end of the video for today. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.